breaking news. Jon Jones out due to a pectoral injury so close to the fight.
Yeah, man, 100%. Two main events in a row now. I agree with you. This is a much bigger scale purely because of the greatest of all time. The return, taking on the greatest heavyweight of all time. So, it's just devastating news. I think to last episode actually when we were talking about the the recap, we said, look, hey, touch wood, right? Nothing happens to this next main event because we are looking forward to this. And like what, 3 days later, here we are with this news. So it's a pectoral tear. Jon Jones is out. Stipe Miocic, the event has been pulled and has been replaced with a different event. It's been a bit of a shuffle in terms of the order of events as well. The main event changes and the core-main is a new one. Good fight. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely great fight. Two of the best heavyweights throwing down for the interim title in Tom Aspinall and uh, Pavlovich. However, now, man, it's really hard to replace a Jon Jones fight. The build up to it, and we've been anticipating this for so long, and we've been, wanting the Fury and the Ngannou Jon Jones fight. We never got that, and then obviously the next best thing was Stipe Miocic versus Jon Jones, and the greatest of all time versus the greatest heavyweight of all time. Madison Square Garden couldn't have been a better script, and unfortunately, that is not going ahead. No fault of anyone. The injuries happen. You're training. Like I say, when you're training to fight the best, you do go all out in your training. It's not like it's the fight week or anything. It's a few weeks removed from the event. Very very unfortunate. I do hope this doesn't completely diminish the hopes of seeing this fight. I do hope Jon Jones recovers and comes back, and it doesn't impact his capabilities in any way. And we do see this fight in the best, with the both fighters being in their best, shape ever. Having said that, man, now Stipe has also been pulled out of the fight, which means he's now having a further layoff. Like, I mean, look, all indications point that they're going to rebook this fight at a later stage. Do we know what the recovery period is for Jon Jones? Has there been any news on that?
Yeah, so Dana White broke this news in a short video on social media, and
Yeah,
talking about the injury. There was footage of Jon Jones allegedly hurting himself
yeah,
in the sparring. Now I don't know if it was
yeah.
old footage, but yeah, in the video there was, and Dana White confirmed that it was around about an 8-9 month a typical injury recovery time.
Yeah.
So what
Wow.
so we're looking at past halfway next year at least.
Yeah, and don't forget when you say 8 9 month recovery, that's um, that's just a recovery, and then you got to start training again. You got to factor in a training camp, right? You got to get your body used to being able to do the movements that you're required to be able to fight. Uh, you know. And all these kind of things. So we're at least looking at another 12 months before we see Jon Jones potentially even next November, right? I mean, a lot of questions for the UFC. Do they keep Stipe active given that he was ready to fight? I'm surprised they didn't, unless, I mean, we don't have much information on this, but it'll be interesting to know if Stipe was offered an interim title fight while this happened, and if Stipe chose to decline. And we know, like, it's no secret, Stipe took the fight because it enticed him to fight the greatest of all time and have that legacy fight. Maybe he chose to decline, or maybe he was never offered that fight. We don't know, because it just causes a lot of confusion, right? So Stipe is not being given the interim title, so which means Jon Jones is the heavyweight champion. They're having an interim title fight in November. Wouldn't that mean that the winner of that fight will face Jon Jones? Because it only makes sense to unify the belt. So we may not even get the Stipe fight, right? It is very interesting. We'll wait for more news to come out in terms of what the plans are. We'll wait for Stipe to speak on this as well. So we'll shed more light on the scenario. Yeah, man, it's very very unfortunate. Look, it is what it is, and I did see the video as well. It does seem, uh, you know, um, I think he's in the middle of a roll. He just, uh, you know, stops and holds his shoulder. It does seem like a pectoral tear. So yeah, man, like I mean, very unfortunate. Speedy recovery to John Jones, obviously, and then yeah, we got Tom Aspinall and Pavlovich throwing down for the middle to the interim heavyweight title. Exciting fight. Definitely will be tuning in. The card is still solid. Definitely takes a huge hit not having a name like John Jones in it. It's the star power, the star value is replaceable in terms of that, especially that matchup at the top there for the baddest man on the planet title, which is the heavyweight title. So yeah, but it is what it is. What can you do? Right? Injuries happen. That's the nature of the sport. So it is a sport where it is combat sports. You do, um, you know, um, it's a full contact sport, and the training comprises of full contact as well. So, and as a result of that, you may find yourself injuring yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, obviously, legacy fight. You summed it up, DJ. In terms of not surprised, Stipe. We might not hear more news about a future fight for him. This could have been his swan song. This could have been that fight that just the only fight that he wants. And
Yeah.
I don't think the UFC even figure he's going to factor into the title long term, which is why they've moved on these younger guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think Stipe is wrapping it up. Like you said, he hasn't been active. I think this was going to be quite possibly his swan song, but we'll wait to hear from the man himself.
Yeah.
Agree with you where the card's still very solid. No doubt, I'm still excited about this new co-main event with obviously Prakashka and Pereira, the new main event. But man, the timing, it just is so close to the event. Now it's so
Yeah.
frustrating that
Yeah.
I hope we do get this fight eventually, but just to have to wait even more, it's
Yeah.
pretty much tainted for me. Like we haven't even seen Stipe fight in over 2 years, so we're not even going to get even close to the best version of him. So it's even the result of this fight for me now. If it happens next year, it's got a huge asterisk next to it.
Yeah.
Is that how you feel?
And yeah, I mean, look, the longer we wait, obviously it doesn't. I mean, this is a young man's sport, right? It is a very physical sport, which involves sort of all your, physical abilities at 100%. And the older you get, just any normal human nature, but the older you get, obviously, the harder it gets to perform at your peak. Um, and look, you're right, man. Like I don't know if we ever see this matchup because you got to consider the fact wait time, right? We're having an interim title fight, as we mentioned. Now the winner of that will ideally be fighting for the title to unify. What's the point of having an interim title if you are not planning to unify that title, right? So whenever John Jones comes back, which is like according to what we're hearing, 9 months of recovery, then adding a training camp, we're looking at another 12 to 13 months, right? That's December next year, right? And that's when the unification happens. And does the heavyweight division stay on hold till then? We don't know, right? Or till John Jones returns. Stipe might fight the winner of Pavlovich and Aspinall. It could have been, the conversation may have been, hey, I don't have enough time to prepare for these guys. I'm not one of these guys who takes short notice fights, right? I'm a legend of the sport, right? I took this fight to fight John Jones. Like, if that's not the case, then fine, I'll fight the winner of this, but give me some time. And then maybe the UFC thought, oh, let's go with the next two guys and let's throw it down for the interim, and then maybe they defend the interim depending on how long the hiatus is for John Jones. So but I do hope John Jones returns, and we do see him back in the octagon. But there's a lot of question marks around a lot of things here. What happens with Stipe? What's the plan there? Um, what will be that next fight? All these kind of things. What happens with the heavyweight division till all this plays out?
Yeah, obviously John Jones, wishing him a speedy recovery, echoing your thoughts, but he's not the youngest man either. So, yeah,
Yes.
speedy recovery.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's not as bad as not as long as it's projected to be, and yeah, we just don't know. We're going to hear more, but yeah, we have to react
Yeah.
to this huge news. Madison Square Garden, one of the biggest cards of the year, the most anticipated fight coming up now is cancelled due to the injury
Yeah.
again. And Pavlovich Aspinall will face off for the interim.